Well, I very much hope you guys enjoyed Mitch's video. He's back in action a couple of weeks away in Japan. And we saw Heath do the video there around the teams to target and an update on where his squad is at and how he's done over the years as well. And now we've got the last three games of round 7, my analysis on those, and then we'll get into round results. For me, will be tomorrow morning when it's all said and done. Hopefully, there was a bit of chat around Team List Tuesday at 4 p.m. and if we're going to get our lockout lifted before then or not. So yeah, hopefully by the time this video comes out that you'll have that information. And I just want to give a shout out, I forgot in this morning's video, to Bronson, who I actually met at just outside the train station in Lisbon, which is pretty wild in Portugal. He had of course he did, we're going to call him the random South fan, but we know his name, so he can't be random. He had a South jumper on, and fair play. They're doing well this year, so you came up and said hello just as I was getting into an Uber, but big shout out to you, mate. You're a legend. And pretty wild. They can hardly have a person come up to me back home to then have someone when you're away. So really, really cool. And shout out to you, Bronson. Hope your squad's doing well, and hope your long overseas trip is doing great as well. And we're coming home in a few days, and we're pretty tired and a bit have been sick and are still struggling with all that. We get some sun tomorrow. We did a tour today, which is an outdoor thing, castle, beautiful scenery, and it rained the whole time. So yeah, we're keen for that tomorrow. But we'll just go short and sharp on these 3 games, guys, because it is a shortened week with the with the Monday game, the Easter Monday game, and back into it on Thursday night, 10:50 a.m. if you're in Portugal apparently. But Titans and Raiders were the first game of Sunday, and a few decent scores and then a bunch in the mid 40s to high 40s there, which wasn't too bad either. Hudson Young just absolutely dominating at the moment. 64.5 is his average, and he's gone 2 doubles in 3 weeks running, which is absolutely incredible. Didn't have to tackle as much in this game, and great run meters as well. And surely he has to play Origin. He's just playing way too good at the moment. Whether you start him or if he's off the bench, I think he needs to be in that side. The problem there is that he has Angus Crichton likely ahead of him on that left edge. Speaking of Origin, guys, Tino in there at 60 in 66 minutes. He's averaged 55.5 since he came into the fray in round 2. And he's done, he's been pretty on and off. But if you have him for that entire time, he's had a really good one here and very low on the negative side with just the 1 missed tackle and 2 inside 10s. Not someone that we want to hold past Origin, but a great guy to have right now. Fogarty, same deal, 57 for him, 5 goals, 2 try assists there. Good tackle numbers, 8 meters run, so didn't even get a point on that side, but still got 1 tackle break and big kick meters. And the Raiders do come up against some tougher opponents over the next 3 weeks, but as I've been saying around Fogarty, is that he just finds other ways to do it. He gets closer to 30 tackles, he kicks for more in general play, and the team usually puts on a few tries anyway, so he gets his goals and the odd try assist from that. So Fogarty, a really safe guy to have over the next bunch of weeks, and got pretty lucky here with Tamale. When I say lucky, he's only had 2 low scores, to be fair, but it's in those games where he happens to get a little bit of junk or he has to do it himself, but they finally stripped him for numbers on the left-hand side and actually passed to him and he went over untouched, which is exactly what we need. Is if they can play, if they can have these good little, set plays where they can actually get it out to him, then that's great. And when you've got 8 tackle breaks in your game and 217 run meters, there's nothing more that you can hope for. And in this game, they actually went left more than they went right, with Xavier Savage having a really low run meter game and a really tough one. So Tamale at this point with the 55, he'll make some cash over the next few weeks. So I think we definitely hold, and at worst, if he doesn't make it around 12 for you, then 500k would be a nice number to get to. And, close to, we'll be exactly 200k in profit, which would be pretty cool. Horsburgh with 54, just the 48 minutes, but his PPM at the moment is incredible. Still making offloads, very low on the negatives count since sort of 3 or 4 weeks ago. So that's been massive for Corey there with the reduction in all those negatives. He's playing better. The team here, it's a bit of an interesting one with him and Tarpany both getting the lower minutes, but the good thing is Horsburgh and his PPM. he's been close to that 50 minutes for a long time now. Basically, he's gone lower in minutes every week since round one, and he's still averaging 54. So for me, he's a clear hold all the way up until we'll see if he makes Origin this year in come round 12. And if he doesn't, then he's a beautiful round 12 player for me. Bo Fomore, 49 for him, a bit of a bounce back, and he'll be closer to 600k following this. My worry with Bo is that he doesn't play round 12, and we might look at him in like around 13 or something like that. And the problem is that he can still go back to centre. So I think we need to see AKP come back and have them have a few more options in their side, and I think he'll become an option for our sides come that time, given JC will be back around that point, sort of around 11 or 13, and Bowie at that price point near 600k will be awesome. Nicholson, 655k for him. And guys, I've had a few questions around when I talk about price point, these types of things. It's very, very important when you're making selections in your side. Nicholson here, after this 49, he'll be about 670k, which is a 50 average. So that's where we look at that. If someone is averaging 50, right, and they're at 550k, if they continue to average 50, then they will make $120,000 up to 670 or approx to that. And that's where it's really, really cool. Could be the opposite. They could be priced at 670k there, but they're averaging 40. So if they continue to do that, they'll go down, 120k or whatever that number is there to lose 10 points of value. So that's when we talk about that kind of stuff, just to keep that clearer for the newer players and people that have asked me. That's what we're talking about here, because that's the name of the game, is to buy people at cheaper prices to what their actual output is. So Nicholson, 49, very happy as an owner that he actually got the full 80 out with the full team that they had available, with Hosking on the bench there. You saw Tarpany play lower minutes, and the coach is really enjoying seeing his starting edges play the full minutes. And we've actually seen that for years and years with Sticky and especially his overseas imports. We've seen Whitehead, we've seen Bateman go nuts with those types of minutes and playing 80 on both sides with Huddy Young for a long time now. And we're seeing it again. Unfortunately for myself, there was very limited on the run side with just 4 runs for 35 meters. So that was tough, but still very happy with the 49, scoring just a tick over what he's actually priced at 655, or very close to that exact number. He's just a watch over the next few weeks as to what we do with him. Unless something changes, he's a hold. Joe Tarpany, if you did buy him this week, there were a few that did, and he's only near 5%. The 49 minutes, for the most part, isn't terrible. It's the score, because his PPM is usually awesome, up there with the Corey Horsburgh style, and he's near the 55 minutes. Sometimes he's higher than that, but usually in 49 he can produce a really good score, and it just wasn't to be in this one with lower attacking stat, tackle break and offload type of numbers, and tackles and also his run meters were a little bit down. So expect to bounce back over the next few weeks, and he'll be very important, but you'd be very annoyed with that score come this game. Starling, 35 in 62. Still probably just a guy that you can hold. It's only a little bit under where he is priced at 574. It's sitting in the early 40s is where he's priced at. So it's not the end of the world. Can hold, can sell. I understand both. Brimson, a tough wing fullback position and half as well. With that 34, it does involve a try and try assist, and he'd scored both of them in the first 20 minutes. So for him to go very, very low for the rest of it was annoying. The positive out of this is because JC's out, he becomes more of a focal point in attack with Weaver being there. 225 kick meters was really good as well, which we haven't seen in a bunch of weeks. So they're all positive signs. The 34 is not incredible. I played him. It is what it is at this point. We leave it. We sit with it. We move on. Weaver there won't be enough time for him to do anything of note. And Hosking, 29. Just be aware of his price over the next bunch of weeks. If we lose one of the edge back rowers, then he becomes a very interesting play again if he gets into the 500s and the like. Timoko, 11, Savage, 5. So that right hand side just got absolutely no ball. at all. Bit of a shocker with that one, and Phil Sami with a low one. From the Supercoach standpoint, I didn't play Tamale, which wasn't fun. I did also leave Nicholson on the pine. Played Horsburgh, played Tom Starling for his 28. It was pretty gross. So I think Starling was the guy that fell out of my 18, and then Tino on the other side, 69. So pretty low scoring game for the Titans overall, with Brimson scoring 46, even with the 17-point and the 12-pointer for the 2 attacking stats, and then Tarpany's 49. We'll keep an eye out on him over the next few weeks, and Ethan Strange, I think that's back-to-back big ones, and Hudson Young just absolutely crushing it. He's already all the way up to crazy price, which is not, there we go, 728k, and he'll go way higher than that again. So very, very impressive. Congrats to him with the season that he is putting together. Now let's move to the second to last game, Knights and the Sharkies. A few relevant guys, especially for the potential buyers side in the next couple of weeks. So the Knights got done by 20, but it was this last 20 minutes or so that really put on the points for the Knights. And we can see that in games where teams are getting, absolutely whacked, and then they take the foot off the gas a little bit. And the other team, if they're an attacking style of, they've got players that are very, off-the-cuff type players, they're going to score pretty well. And you saw that with Marzu for the majority of the game, but they had that one really crazy run. He had 16 tackle breaks and is averaging 51 now. And these are the interesting things you got to look at with Greg Marzu at 548. I think his break-even was in the 50s or something like that. He'll go up to about a 580, let's just say. And the 580 has him in the early 40s with an average of 51. So that's where you go, oh, well, that average is too high compared to what he's priced at. We give him a lower break-even. And if he scores anywhere near 50 over the next few weeks, then we'll bring him up towards that 670k, which is that 50 price point. And now Greg, given he won't play Origin, is a very, very interesting player over the bye period as well, so keep him in mind. Kai Paul the exact same way. If you want an edge, for those that did jump on him this week, congrats to you. But he's definitely one of interest as well. With that 74, there's a lot of junk time offloads at the end, and that try assist as well that got him from about what was going to be a low 50s score into the 74, and we've seen him in the low 50s for the 4 games that he's played so far. He becomes interesting as well, but a position that may not be as of much interest to you. Fletcher Sharp, on the other hand, a very, very relevant player, and unfortunately I didn't end up trading him in my side. I was trying to sort out a bunch of things. I ended up holding Tamale and playing him, so that was a win. Who I was going to trade Tamale for? Fletcher Sharp. Didn't happen in the end. I held on, and I'm very glad that I did in the end with the 55. We can get some more cash out of Tamale. Fletcher does go up some cash, and he's probably going to be a purchase for me over the next few weeks anyway. At least 1 or 2 of these Knights. With the run that they have, it's a very important side in my opinion. And Fletcher, in a game where they got beat, we've seen a low from him of 36 and a 46, and all the other scores in the 60-ish range. So Fletcher's just so fast. He's going to get good run meters. He's going to get tackle breaks. He should have got another try. Bit of a tough obstruction. So he's going to be one of those guys I think can do really well. Keep him in your thoughts. Who I did end up buying was Nico Hines. 56 for him. Gee, it was looking good. He was like 32 in 27 minutes, 32 at halftime. And then he actually looked pretty good to be fair, but a lot of the try assist type passes, the flat balls, the players got held up short of the line. And somehow he ended up with 7 tackle breaks. And I know a couple of them would have been on Greg and Fletcher. But we don't see him have 7 missed tackles. So that was tough viewing. Usually we can bank on sort of 20-odd or 20 in points from Hines on the tackling side, and that wasn't the case here, and that kind of stalled him from having a really good game. And I was really impressed with how he was playing. He looked good and got some good kick meters as well and ran the footy. So I think overall pretty happy, but the missed tackles kind of hurt him from getting a mid-60s in this one. Thomas Kant there with a 50 tackles for him. He's just putting in that work. And I think we still get him for 1 more week for those that do own. And he's making good cash and scoring well. So congrats to owners. Hiroti there with a 50 with the try. 5 tackle breaks, 2 turnover tackles in the end. So he's putting in that work as well. And that try late, I wish it was Nico passing to him. He got really close on a Nico pass. But unfortunately not. And had to score off Trindle. But really good score for Hiroti. It's probably more of a Supercoach play in the end. I didn't end up buying personally. Picked up the 80, made heaps of cash. And, Hines there for a 65. Nikora scoring low again, so keep an eye on him for Supercoach. And Big Greg. So glad that I could finally get a good score out of him. 138. Holding Ponga in the end. That was tough, and I did sell JC for Adam Dewey because I didn't end up grabbing Adam in fantasy. But Kaipi's Ball, Fletcher Sharp, Best, all guys to look at in Supercoach over the next bunch of weeks. And Bradman Best 47 in fantasy for a line break try assist. Finally just passed the ball early to Greg, so that was nice. You might get some try assists, Bradman, if you just pass to Greg. He's an absolute beast. I don't know if you've noticed. Nikora 44, Adam Finnell-Blake 43, so he's really is dealing a bit with this groin, unfortunately, and they are playing him less minutes because of it. It was a bit of hot potato ball to get him that try earlier on in that game. He's going to be a target over the next few weeks. If you do own, just continue to hold. It's just an unfortunate time for him to pick up that issue last week. Britton Nikora, keep him in your thoughts as well with a 44, but he doesn't lose too much cash. Wilton's 40. He's just been okay. He's scoring pretty well where he's priced at. Kalen Ponga is the worry, clearly, as we know. Try save a turnover tackle as well to get him to 37. 5 missed tackles, 2 errors, an inside 10. Yes, he ran the footy a bit more. Yes, he got some offloads, but just not really involved in the attack. The team's still struggling. The good news is the squad is going to come up against some easier opponents, over the next few weeks. But the Knights aren't playing well at all. If you do own, he's going to be closer to 600k now. And look, can you expect him to hit a 44 average going forward? Yes. So therefore, you probably have to hold. Although with Walsh's injury, he does probably play Origin, and I can't recommend him as a buy at this point. There you go. That's that game. That made it easy. Mulatalo, low one. Gagai's actually had a really tough season, so keep an eye on him. He could be really fun come round 12, actually. In the centres there as someone that we haven't spoken about too much, just because he started really well, and then since the team's been pretty poor, so is he. So, yeah, someone to take note of as he loses that cash. All right, let's move to the Tigers and the Eels, and congrats to the Eels for this good win, and we've got Terrell May, our fantasy GOAT captain, with an 86 again. 75 is the average for Terrell for this season, and that's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I can't see myself taking the captaincy off him anytime soon, just because he can do it so easily and in so many different ways. And in here we had the 1 missed tackle for 42 made again, 3 offloads, 4 tackle breaks, played the full 80 to try and help them win this game. And this might happen regularly for Terrell, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, it just means that he's very, very safe. Very safe. If 65 minutes is his normal, he's going to find a way to accumulate very easily. And he got that try early, which was just awesome. What this game was, though, was terrible for apart from captain, it was very terrible for my side. And I was hoping to actually halve my rank this week and just couldn't do it because my silly trade-in, he's just getting absolutely banished right now, is Katonga with 16. Thankfully, he got the 3-point update. And, Stafford Tower was on 7 for a lot of this game and had a couple of good runs at the end before those errors to sort of save his score a little bit. So my centers were my worst scorers apart from Jenkins for the week, and yeah, pretty frustrated with that, I should say. But Mitch Moses was very dominant, and I spoke about in the previous video for myself that Addo-Carr was really unlocked as well in this side. Moses, is he of interest? Look, he should probably play Origin, to be fair. He is so good. He deserves it. He was the halfback last year. He should at least play 6. So, yeah. How does Hopgood play 38 minutes, guys? It's actually wild right now how that's happening. Before we talk about him, Buller, we have to shout him out because he's had a few good games in there. He looked really good in this one. So, he's probably, every second game he's been really good. Slowly building some consistency. But Hopgood, how do you play him 38 minutes? The sin bins and all this type of stuff did probably hurt him a little bit, but but he's a player that is so much better than that. Like, how is he getting? Yes, to a Vidi had a really good game, and they're just really splitting the minutes across the board. I just thought he was more important than what we're seeing there. for 38 minutes. Like even Jack Williams just come back, and you can look at all these forwards, and none of them really had massive minutes, but they have a 4 forward bench, and even Matt Dury only got the 6 minutes. And with Riley Smith playing the 80 now, it's you basically took, instead of playing 15-20 at hooker, Riley just took them off Hopgood basically, which is wild. So incredible for him to still get 49. The efforts that he can put through in that time, 33 tackles, is just wild. But he is tough. He's a tough own, and he's still averaging 49, which is just crazy in all this, that he's almost priced at where he's averaging right now. You can decide what you want to do with him on that one. Kelmer was back, and then he's gone in a flash. 3-game suspension, it looks like, for his shoulder to the head. And end up getting a breather here as well, which was expected. But he moved to the right-hand side. He moved to Moses' side, which is the one that gets all the ball, and Katonga moved to the other. So that was tough. Katonga might move to that right-hand side. We'll have to see who gets picked. I did see Ryan Madison play like 70 minutes in the middle for 73 fantasy points or something. I wanted to have a look at Galvin. He got 1 try assist and 63 points or something. But this Kelmer thing. Seyfarth, I sold him to Katonga. So wouldn't have played him anyway, but a try in this one. 37 tackles, 31 run meters again. So you're just not going to get any footy. Seyfarth, unfortunately. Luai, 38 in this one, to get a bit more involved, kicked a bit more, got the 2 try assists, 38. Be aware of his price over the next bunch of weeks. I've still held on to Yongi, and 2 tries for him with a line break. Did get sin bin as well, so it could have been a mid to high 40s, I think, in this one, if he played out the full game. And he should be okay longer term, so I think I'll hold on strong. Hopefully he can hold him all the way to round 12, and in the odd chance that Moses doesn't make Origin, that could be really helpful in round 12 in the end. Now, Dewey, I was really keen on all week, and then when JC went down, I was like, I should probably buy a round 12 friendly guy. Dewey might not, not perks of being overseas, is not seeing physio come out while you're sleeping, and say that Latufenu might return in the next week or so. So I still did buy Dewey in Supercoach. Just didn't see that, unfortunately, in time. But for fantasy here, 38. A lot of base stats, but it just didn't work out perfectly for him. He had 1 missed tackle and 2 inside 10, so nothing of that was bad. But just the running, the tackle breaking, the offloading, and the assists and tries just didn't come his way. So that part was frustrating if he did buy, and I hope that for owners, including myself in Supercoach, that he does get another opportunity or two to get some good scores, because he had a fairly high break even, unfortunately. Missed Adam Dewey. Riley Smith ended up with 33, kicked the last goal too, but 6 missed tackles, 1 turnover tackle, ran the footy a tiny bit, kicked once in general play, but the 30s aren't going to cut it to make good money, and he could easily be our round 12 hooker for a 30 odd. That would be fine. You could use him as a cash down in the next couple of weeks if you like. Don't have to worry about this coming week, but the following weeks if you please. Stafatoa, 27. The worry here was that with Dewey in the side, he didn't see as much ball, but the Eels also scored really well and did some good work. And you can see here just the 4 scores over 50. So wasn't an incredible game. A bunch of scores in the 40 odds, but it seemed to be the certain edges that did really well, and then a bunch of guys through the middle was where a lot of this work was with Coruscant. And a shout out to Simonson for coming out and doing some good work as well. We'll have a look at him in sort of round 10 or so, because he's on a fun side with Moses. So Stafatoa, 27, wasn't his best game, but he's averaging 45 for the year. And the good thing with him is he's made a lot of money, and if you do want to sell because he doesn't play round 12, then I do understand, but he could also go back to the high 40 scores and scoring tries and setting him up like he has in recent history. Penasini's 21, Walker 20 and 40. So you shouldn't expect that he's taking too much of Hopgood, but it's just the way it's been played at the moment. And then Katonga with just the easiest 40s, and apart from one of the weeks, but easiest 40 odd, a tougher 40 odd, then a 57 with absolute ease last week to go into 16 was really, really tough viewing. Had 11 in negatives, no tackle breaks, was getting offloads for fun. So yeah, no good. Going to be a big decision on what I decide to do with him, because I wasn't excited about him 4 weeks ago, and everyone was getting him and he was doing well, and I was like, oh, it's probably the last chance to get him, and should have left it in the end. Oh well, we move on. But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. That's the 3 games for the week there. And if you had anyone, Terrell May 100 in Supercoach, I had Dewey for 36. It's pretty rough. And on the Eagles side, it was Moses Adokar. Yongi was 76. Dylan Brown was 60. The only real relevant guys at the moment. And Katonga 19, if anyone had him. So there you go, guys. That's the 3 games. Round results video. I'll follow this. And yes, lots of content to get into. We'll leave it at that. We'll see you in the next one.